Welcome back to the Hot Pocket Podcast. We are on episode 4. We have a lot to talk about today. We have interview with possibly our new intern. We got a lot of college football and NFL news. We're going to go over that real quick. I'm your host, Zach. We have Connor and the intern here with us today. So we are going to start with our intern's interview. Really quickly, we wanted to put this on the podcast because we wanted to make him look stupid. So why do you want to work here?
I just like sports, and this is just an easy podcast to do.
So you think we're easy?
No, I like the show. I think I'd be a good fit on the show. Our last special guest, it was pretty good. I think we had a good episode. I think I'd be a good fit for the podcast.
This guy's a little full of himself.
He is. I don't know how I feel about it.
All right, next question. Given that you work at Texas Roadhouse, do you prefer Olive Garden breadsticks or Texas Roadhouse rolls?
Olive Garden breadsticks.
So you go against your own
Because I've eaten so many rolls that I've grown to not like them anymore.
Even with the butter?
Okay, but how do we know you're not
You don't combine the butter with it. If it's with the butter, you have to specify.
Oh, well...
So you're going to go out against our podcast and support another one. That's good to know.
You guys are for Texas Roadhouse rolls?
So...
I can get you free rolls.
Shut up. My next question is, if you lived on Mars and we were terraforming, what would you do first?
Nuke Mars so you get an atmosphere. That's the first part of terraforming.
I don't know enough to say is wrong.
Yeah,
I've never seen the
good
Martian.
Good answer. I like that.
I've watched a lot of Elon Musk. Joe Rogan podcast was pretty nice.
Wow.
What would you say your favorite aquatic animal is?
A manatee. I feel like I relate to them. Kind of look like them.
That was good. That was very good. And I have one final question for you. If you were placed on the New York Jets roster, and you were actually, you know what, let's do this. If you were the GM of the Jets, what kind of moves would you make first? But you can't fire Adam Gase.
I'm tanking. I'm getting rid of Sam Darnold, and I'm drafting Trevor Lawrence with the first overall pick.
Wow. You're getting rid of Darnold.
Yeah.
Why?
It's quite the move.
The offense has just not shown anything, and Darnold may have had some rushes, but they need a QB.
They had 31 points and won the game last week with Darnold. Darnold shows signs of life.
Darnold's only...
Darnold? Who's Darnold?
Sam Darnold.
He rushed for 84 yards. He's carrying the offense, but you need a QB that's actually going to be a franchise QB. I don't think he's going to survive this league.
I don't know. That's where I disagree. But
That's my thing.
I'm gonna let it go.
If you cannot steal my thing. I know I'm joining, but that's my thing.
He has a thing and he's not even a member yet?
Right. Very full.
This guy's pretty full of himself.
Do you have one last question for me?
No. The aquatic animal was the last one I had.
Okay, so we will process your interview. We'll go through the correct steps. You still have to submit your application. But we will keep you on the rest of the podcast to see how it goes. And we'll get the audience's feedback because we know all our listeners out there are going nuts.
Yeah, of course. My Twitter notifications are already blowing up.
Yeah, for sure. So next we'll get right into it. We're going to start on some football news. We'll start on the college.
Big week of college football. We had 2 ranked matchups this week over Georgia and Auburn, which came out 27-6. Georgia. Auburn didn't even put up a fight. Bo Nix made a lot of mistakes. There wasn't a lot of stuff done right by Auburn. And then we had Alabama versus Texas A&M. 52-24 Alabama. How do you feel about this one, Zach?
I'm not feeling college football this year. I didn't watch either game. I think I was doing something else Saturday. I was mowing the grass.
Well, yeah. I mean, Big Ten hasn't started playing
yet.
Yeah,
no Big Ten football, so I'm not in the college football mindset yet. So I'm gonna let our intern take over my
Yeah, I live in Ohio. I'm an Ohio State fan. Unless Ohio State's playing, I don't really watch.
Don't give away our location.
I said I do. I didn't say you guys do.
Well, then how are we recording?
Online.
Through a Zoom call.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, college football is not fun. It's just boring. The same teams are just running over other teams. There was one upset that was like Texas Tech in Texas, but nobody really cares. That's how I feel.
Great. Next we got
I didn't even read it right.
the Big 12 is struggling very badly. Oklahoma loses to Iowa State, their second straight loss this season. They moved to 1-2. Lincoln Riley is going nuts. Spencer Rattler looks like a freshman. It's not very good for Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State is the only undefeated team left in the Big 12, which is scary. I don't think we'll see a Big 12 team in the college football playoff this year.
I agree with you. Meanwhile, though, Clemson continues to roll forward. They're still undefeated and still at the top of the rankings after week 4.
Yeah, I can't wait to see which team gets Trevor Lawrence in the playoffs or in the draft this year.
Or even Travis Etienne.
Yeah, or Travis Etienne. But I was talking about Trevor Lawrence. I'm sorry. Yeah, so he's for sure the number one lock pick, and I do not want to see him in a Jets uniform. I do not want to see him in a Jags or anything else. Hope he goes to the Bears or something. Maybe get a good team.
Maybe the Falcons.
Maybe Falcons. No, they're gonna keep Matt Ryan.
After a 0-4 start?
Yeah, after a 0-4 start, they're gonna fire their coach.
Yeah, it's Dan Quinn's fault.
Now that we're talking about it, let's move on to some NFL news. The Texans. What was that? What?
Fired.
What are you doing, Ethan? I mean,
I thought it was intern. You're going against your own
intern
rules now.
Ethan, you're freaking out over here. I mean, scaring me.
So I guess spasms.
Scaring our
College
guests.
football just gets me excited.
And-
NFL gets me excited, man.
You're
I'm getting the
spazzing.
energy,
You're
dude.
spazzing out. I mean, relax. Back to NFL news. Texans in search of a GM and head coach after they fire Bill O'Brien after a 0-4 start this season. What direction do you think the Texans will go in this season?
Well, they have an interim head coach coming in. I don't remember his name. I don't know the Texans lineup. But they thought that firing Bill O'Brien was a better choice than looking for both a head coach and a GM. So they are very confident with not having Bill O'Brien. They think they can do better. So I don't know what's going on here.
I think this was a bad move by the Texans on all parts. If they would have done this before the season and maybe they had some more time to prepare, they could have done actually something with this season. But starting 0-4 and then just having the coach and general manager jump ship won't be good for him looking forward.
Yeah, I think we all saw it coming that Bill O'Brien was out at the Texans head coach. Trading DeAndre Hopkins already stirred up enough. He was on the hot seat all season. Starting 0-4, they had a tough schedule to start, but you can't start 0-4 with the roster they have. They will be moving on. Some new COVID cases have come out in the NFL. Stephon Gilmore, the second Patriots player to be diagnosed with COVID after Cam Newton was diagnosed last week. And then we got the Titans with 2 added cases also, which is a scary thought. I hope we can finish this season because it's not looking too good. It looks like we're having a second surge in the NFL.
Very true. Next we have Joe Burrow finally secures his first NFL win with a 33-25 win over the Jaguars.
Yeah, Burrow looked phenomenal. Not phenomenal. People are getting way too hyped. But Burrow did look very good. He got a running game finally. Joe Mixon helped him out. Had over 100 rushing yards, a couple touchdowns. They helped him out a lot. The line actually looked okay. They gave him some time. He did take some hits, but that's okay. Joe Burrow can stay in the pocket and deliver some great throws. Big win for Joe Burrow and the Bengals. So we'll see where that takes him the rest of the season.
Yeah, I liked Joe Burrow, but again, they're facing the Jags. Jags have no defense. See, Joe Burrow is a great quarterback. Hey, man, the Jaguars suck, man.
Where do we find this kid?
You can be good and beat the Jaguars with your left hand. I mean, it's not hard.
We need a new intern very badly.
Someone who isn't so hard on the
Yeah,
Jags.
I mean,
This guy's a J.
like you're just like I don't like you. I don't like you on this podcast.
Thanks.
But you bring a different dimension, so I'll give you that. We'll move on to the Browns finally being able to get a couple wins. They start 3-1 on the season, first time since 2001, but they don't do it without a couple mishaps, if you were to say. Chubb goes down with a apparent knee injury. They don't know exactly what it was. It was an MCL.
Yep.
It was an MCL injury. They expect to have him back this season, but without him, I don't know what's going to go on with the Browns this year. What is your take on what the Browns are going to do?
I think that definitely without Chump,
Chump. He ain't no chump.
definitely without Chubb, the Browns are going to be struggling to establish the run game a bit more. But of course, they do still have Kareem Hunt, and because of his history with the Chiefs, he's able to take quite a decent amount of carries per game. I think they'll be able to survive and maintain a pretty good record until Chubb comes back.
Yeah.
This is the best the Browns have looked in a while. This is the first time they scored 30-plus points in 3 straight games since 1968.
Wow.
That's been a while. Their offense is now coming up. Odell's getting a couple catches. They're getting the run game going. I think they might move up. They have a hard division, though. You have the Steelers 3-0. You have the Ravens in that division. And the Browns. It's going to be a hard one, but I think they're looking good.
Yeah, I think 3 playoff teams can come out of this division this year.
Definitely.
But I'm very excited to see where the Browns are headed this season. They probably have the best division in football. So we will move on to the absolute worst division ever to come out of the NFL. The NFC East with the Eagles, Dallas,
the Washington
Giants.
football team.
Giants, and Washington football team. I mean, my God.
You cannot assemble a more ragtag
The best
group of
team
teams.
in that conference is 1-2-1. Like,
It's disgusting how bad all of them are, and it will be a tragedy to see one of them make the playoffs because all their rosters are horrible.
Very true.
The Cowboys are definitely the best team in that division, though.
I mean,
What do you mean? Cowboys would steamroll the
offensively,
football team.
yeah.
They would steamroll the Eagles.
You
'cause
know
the
how
Eagles
bad
are
that defense is?
god-awful.
Right, even the Eagles' offense could probably put up 21 against that Dallas defense.
I don't know. Carson Wentz is on the hot seat this week. He stinks.
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins, he stinks. Daniel Jones stinks. I mean, the Giants have 3 touchdowns on the year. That's
Right.
disgusting.
the only quarterback that's good is Dak Prescott with the 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception in the final quarter. He almost brought that team back to another behind victory. Only if he didn't have that interception, they might have been able to take it.
Yeah, for sure. I almost pooped my pants in the fourth quarter watching that game. It really made me nervous, but it's good to see the Browns be able to win a game. Because they don't do
What a
that.
statement. All right, next we're going to move on to our predictions. Our predictions records after last week are me at 6-1, Zach at 5-2, and intern Ethan at 2-1.
Yeah, I expect Ethan to probably poop the bed this week and probably go to a losing record, but I won't say much more. I'm going to be the best one in this predictions. I know I am, so we'll let the worst start.
All right.
I like how he just goes. Like, he didn't even hesitate. He just went.
We're starting with the Vikings and the Seahawks. Russell Wilson is looking great. The Vikings had a win this week, but only with Dalvin Cook at the rushing side. I don't think they can beat the Seahawks with Russell Wilson playing how he is.
Yeah,
I didn't think about this hard enough.
I would agree with that one. I see the Seahawks coming out on top. The Vikings just don't have enough willpower or the defense to get through Russell Wilson. He's playing lights out. I think the Seahawks are going to come out on top on this one.
My answer is in. I agree. The Seahawks will be taking this one. Next, we have the Bengals versus the Ravens.
Who picked this game?
I picked this game. It's an AFC North matchup.
I can speak for all of us right now. It's the Ravens. We're all gonna pick the
The
damn
Ravens have played like garbage the past 2 games.
Whoa. You're just going to count out Joe Burrow?
Go ahead. Pick the Bengals.
I am picking the Bengals. I am putting the hammer down and picking the Bengals.
Good.
I am
kinda
calling
wanna
this
pick the
off
Bengals now.
because I want the Ravens to lose so the Steelers are even higher in the division. I'd rather just see the Steelers as far as they can go.
I'm taking the Ravens by more than 20 points.
You see, I'd love to take the Bengals, but I have a 6-1 record that I'd like to upkeep. So just to play it safe, I will be taking the Ravens. But I think this game will be closer than you think.
No, man.
They already have low expectations of me, so I might as well just go out on the limb and choose what I want.
Yeah, very true. We do have very low expectations for you so far. Next, we do got the Chiefs versus the Raiders. This will be I think it'll be a closer game than people think. I can't go against Pat Mahomes, though. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
I'm going to take the Chiefs as well. You know, the Raiders have definitely been able to get a lot more done this season because of the rushing game with Josh Jacobs and Derek Carr coming back into performance. But I just think the Chiefs are too high-powered, and that defense is, pretty built to stop the run game.
I'm taking the Chiefs, too. They played the Patriots last week. They literally looked like they weren't even trying at all and still won by 16. I think Pat Mahomes could literally throw with his left arm and win the game.
I agree with that one. And the last game for this week, we have the Colts versus the Browns, which should be a very good game. In my opinion, the Colts might have one of the best teams in the AFC. I said they might be a top 5. You guys disagreed with me on that one. But I think the Browns will come out on top on this one, have their first 4-1 start in probably franchise history.
A millennium.
In the decade. Or triple decade. I don't know what the proper word. But the Browns will come on top and beat Phillip Rivers and the Colts.
I'm going to agree with you. I think the Browns are going to continue their role and take this one over the Colts. The Colts do look nice this season. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying top 5 in the AFC, but, I give the Browns the edge in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Browns, too. The Colts have started off to 3-1, but they haven't faced a good defense yet. They've played a lot of 1-3 teams, less than 50% wins. They haven't really shown anything against a good team in the NFL yet, and this might be their first matchup where they actually struggle.
Yeah, for sure. So that is our predictions for what is this, week 5?
This will be week 5 coming up.
No, it's week 5. Yeah, week 5 of the NFL. So to close out our podcast this week, we will move on to Big Richard of the Week.
Big Richard.
Big girthy Richard of the Week. Ethan, you can start, intern.
Ooh, this was not a hard one after watching the game Monday night. Aaron Rodgers. That man is throwing wherever he wants, whenever he wants. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He is 13-0 in terms of touchdowns to interceptions in the first 4 weeks. They are blowing out every team right now.
Yeah.
100% the best team in the NFC.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers isn't getting a lot of love this year after the Packers go out and draft Jordan Love in the draft. I think that really sparked a fire inside of him, and now they're playing maybe the best football I've seen Aaron Rodgers play in a couple years.
I also like his cockiness. He also said that one of his off games could be a career game for another quarterback. He is just on a different level right now.
Yeah.
He is riding high, and I like how he's playing.
Yeah, I love that. Love that guy. What a guy.
This week, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but my Big Richard is Josh Allen.
Jeez.
He was able to win a close game over the Rams this week where he actually temporarily went out with an injury, but came back to finish the game and to throw another touchdown pass. He finished with 288 yards and 2 touchdowns with about a 70% completion rating.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Josh Allen's playing out of his mind. But my Big Richard of the week...
Again, every week.
My Big Richard of the week is Kevin Stefanski, the Browns head coach. From last year to this year, watching their offense, Freddie Kitchens, I'm a firm believer he is maybe the worst head coach ever to come through the NFL. But Kevin Stefanski and what he's done with the Browns offense and the team in general is just astronomical.
Whoa!
Astronomical. And for them to start 3-1 this season is a crazy stat for the Browns. If you win the game, you win.
Breaking news just in. Sam Darnold is out versus the Cardinals, and Joe Flacco will start as QB for the Jets this week.
Hey, Flacco's back.
How you guys
You
feel
were
about
just
that?
happy about, or just defending Darnold, weren't you?
I am. I think Darnold. I still think Darnold's a franchise guy, but seeing Joe Flacco come back out, I mean, it'll be good to see him back in the NFL. He's kind of like a Blake Bortles to me.
Is that a form of praise?
I don't know if that's a compliment but he reminds me of Blake Bortles. So that will wrap up our
Episode 4.
Episode 4 of our podcast. We don't know if we will have Ethan, the intern, on next week. We will update you guys on that. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.